Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Tuesday to you. Happy long weekend that's now over, but cheers to that. I think everybody maybe needed it a little bit. So if you are tuning in with us today, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. As you guys can see, it does appear like the markets are taking a little bit of a turn, I guess you could say, for the worse for the past couple days, which is okay. So we're going to take a couple looks at NKLA. We're going to take a look at Apple. We're going to talk about Tesla. We will take a look at the S&P 500. We're going to be taking a look at a lot of different stocks here this morning to really get you guys up to speed on what's been going on over the past couple days, because it has been, honestly, a little bit shaky. So good morning to everybody. All right, first thing we'll do is just start here with the SPY, okay? So if you take a look here, you are going to see that yesterday, I guess you could call it Friday, we bounced, excuse me. On Friday, we bounced at the price of about 334 in the market, and then obviously we came back up. And then after hours, we have kind of rolled back over, okay? If you look at this 4-hour chart, you can see we did a bounce here on Friday at about 334, and now we're kind of rolling back down. Now, I don't believe 334 was actually any significant price point for me. I didn't really have anything there other than maybe the previous bottom of that big green day. So the bounce off 334 was never a particular level that I was watching myself. All right, so going forward today, I think really the main thing you would like to see from something like the SPY is simply to hold over 334 to 335, which was the price of Friday's bottom. And the only reason I'm saying that is because there was pretty significant buying there, right? If we were to zoom in and look at the bottom here, it's not like there wasn't some buying. There was definitely some volume here taking place, and it even double bottomed, okay? So if we go forward into today, I really do think you pretty much just got to pick this as your bottom point to watch. And now normally I wouldn't pick the previous day's bottom as a target. Normally it would be a trend line per se. We would be looking for the next nearest trend line. So to be honest, I think you might as well just target the 334 to 335 bottom. And if that doesn't hold, you just anticipate we're going to go as low as 332.53. Okay. So good morning to everybody. Good morning. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. Okay. Tesla, ouch. Yeah, Tesla. Tesla got hit with some news that they didn't enter into the S&P 500. Kind of rolled over a little bit. Market needs this. Lost one. You're absolutely right. Markets do need a pullback. That would make sense. So we will touch on Apple. We will touch on Tesla. Oh yeah, I forgot. Excuse me. I need to change over the camera setting here. There we go. Again, Tuesday morning, it's going to get to you, all right? So markets are kind of coming over still. If we take a look at, say, Apple, you're going to see Apple still rolling over. Now, this is all still within play. It kind of makes sense, all right? Right now, our average is down at 103 for Apple. So it would make sense to even see Apple come down to about the 103 price. And actually, something regarding psychology is that markets never like to stay in one extreme for too long. So typically the markets are always kind of swinging on a pendulum, right? That's the way you have to think of the market, is it doesn't like to stay in extremes for too long. So naturally it's going to go from one extreme to the midpoint, back to an extreme, or to the opposite extreme. So if you kind of look at Apple long-term chart here over the last year, you can say it kind of swung up here to this extreme, then down to here to this extreme, back to the midway point, up here to this extreme. So there's a good chance you're going to be seeing Apple even down to prices of, say, like $103, right? And this is kind of something I was thinking we might see. Now, regarding Tesla, it's pretty much the same outlook, okay? Tesla drops, we get a good bounce day, and our trend on Tesla right now comes in at about $306. So it's even very likely you see Tesla all the way down to prices of, say, $306. That was where I really, really wanted to pick Tesla up as more of a bigger position, I guess you could say. So if we take a look at the 4-hour chart, here's the other possibility that might happen, okay? I always run over the daily chart and the 4-hour chart. Whenever we're doing this stream, I can totally see where some might get confused about the things I say because I'm always jumping from daily to 4-hour. But if I could put it simply, you never know for sure where something might stop, right? You never know exactly where it's going to go to the top. So that's why I always take a look at a couple different time frames and I go, okay, if the market's going to move to this price or into this zone, there's only two options here, this price or this price, okay? And I've just come up with those prices over trading for some while. But if I could, we're looking at the 4-hour chart right now. So in my mind, I'm thinking Tesla can come all the way down to, say, 330s to 306 respectfully. There's nothing that would be weird about that. So I think we could see Tesla as low as, say, the 300 price. Okay, so let's go in and let's try to find any sort of reason for Tesla to bounce from that 330 to 300 price. As we do that, I come across this 4-hour chart. And I look and I go, oh, nice. There's a level right here, 335. So I would say to myself, that's the first floor that I'm about to hit. If we keep going, and Tesla wanted to go to 306 or 300 or say 295. The 335 price, that's the first level or first floor that we have. So my instinct would to be just target 335 for right now because we are trending down, right? So I would just naturally say we're probably going to go down towards the 335 price. But when we get there, I'm going to think we're going to bounce because that's the first floor. If we hit it, do a small bounce, then keep breaking down, okay, maybe we go to 306 and then we'll try 306. So if we now go look at the daily chart, and I will look at some of your guys' comments here in just a second. Now, if we go look at the daily chart, you can see just below 336 or 335, you're going to come into this price down here, which is the next trend. It's actually like 309 or maybe 310. Right? So if we go through 336, then I'll be looking for the 308. And so I really do think that this correctional move we're seeing could very well have prices of Tesla down to the 300 price and then a bounce. Okay. All right, give me a second here. We will cover the NKLA news. I know some of you guys are looking at Workhorse this morning. We will definitely talk about that. All right. Yes, and like David said, Tesla is in fact a bubble. I mean, it's not that it's not in a bubble. It's 100% overhyped. And you guys know, like I pretty much just waited until this whole run up happened and everyone was getting freaked out. This whole run up happened and the hype happened before I would take a position. I wanted all that to for me to thin out, and I wanted to see some of the selling action, and then I could be like, all right, maybe this makes sense. So for those of you that watched my video regarding Tesla, I did pick some Tesla up. Now, it wasn't a lot, and believe me, I am, even with it coming down, this is all basically a part of the idea that I anticipated happening. So maybe give it a couple weeks. We'll see how Tesla plays out. But again, I could see Tesla down, like I said, down towards the 300 price would make more sense to me. Okay. Would you sell tech in long-term portfolio? No, I still have a bunch of tech stocks. I still have a lot of stuff. I mean, I have different. I own a couple different things. I own. Actually, I mean, I'll show you a picture of something here. Give me a second, guys. I gotta pull it up, but I'll show you some stuff I own in large cap growth right now. All right. I don't know if you guys can see this too much. Maybe let me zoom it in. Here's a couple things right now that I own. Salesforce, Zoet, Square, Microsoft, PayPal, and Twilio. Those are a couple things specifically that I own in the large cap growth area. I own Tesla. I don't know if I actually own Facebook. I'll have to double check that one, but own a lot of this. Own a lot of the semiconductors. So have a pretty diverse portfolio at the end of the day. Okay, we're going to be keeping, now we're going to take a look at NKLA. All right, let's just get over here. All right, if you guys will remember a couple weeks back, there was price targets for NKLA at 56. I even mentioned we could probably see a move to 56. I had a swing trade on it. We traded a couple times. Nonetheless, swing trade didn't work out the way that we wanted. We still made money trading it, but we were really looking for the move more up towards like 55, 56, which ended up happening today because of some news that the company has received. So if you're not already aware, NKLA had received news with General Motors. I think General Motors is basically they're partnering up, and obviously General Motors is going to probably help in the manufacturing of something called the Badger. I don't know what that is. It's probably just a kid's stuffed animal, if I had to take a best guess. It probably has nothing to do with electric cars. So, yeah, I guess you could say NKLA and General Motors are teaming up to create and manufacture probably some new, I think they do transmissions or something. I think that's what it was. So, anywho's, really, really good move. Now, you guys can see if we zoom in, right? Look at my chart right now, okay? Please take the time to look at NKLA. Pay attention to that little white line in there, and then think back to the discussion we just had on Tesla, okay? This is the same thing, okay? It's just going up this time. So if you could think of Tesla, it's going down right now, and I said basically we're just going to look for that first white trend line. That's where we would want to be long on a bounce, right? If you look at NKLA, today it ran all the way up to 55, which was basically, let me zoom in. Basically, oh shit, now it's off, that white line, okay? So it basically just ran all the way up right into that first white line, which is on the 4-hour time frame, same as is Tesla. Tesla, if you look at the 4-hour charting, we're going to have a regression trend coming into play. Was it 336? Anyways, something around 330, yeah, 336, right? That's where I would anticipate Tesla would bounce first. And then if it goes through, we would then say, okay, probably 300. So really basically the same thing, okay? Same thing that you're seeing there with Tesla and NKLA right now. NKLA this morning was way blown outside of trend. So right now it's pulling back. So the sort of move, I haven't even looked at the 1-minute chart in a long time on this. So this is what I think's happening. You see the move on NKLA all the way up to about 55, which is regression trend resistance. It's way overblown on the 1-minute chart, so we're probably pulling back to the regression, we're probably pulling back to like 2 standard deviations or 3 standard deviations on the 1-minute chart right now to get it back into trend. So let's take a look. See right there, you can see we were out of trend. We came back down to green, which is 2 standard deviations, and now we're starting to bounce. So I will say that the market on NKLA is overbought, obviously, on the day. I couldn't really justify being long at this price. We already hit trend at 54, 55, pulled back. At this point, I would probably be more of a bearish trader to start the day. And then if it dips down, and really goes down towards like 42s, that's where I'd probably be more long bias, down around 42. Paper towel. So when you say bounce, so it's a good question. When you say down to 300 and then bounce, when we get down to 300, the targets are all going to change. Like right now, I could tell you a price target we can bounce to, but by the time we were to get to 300, the price target would be different. Okay, so that would be a better question to ask if in the event we're actually at 300, because if we were to reverse that day off of 300, what drops another 40 points, those price targets will probably get a little lower. And then when we get to 300, instead of it being a $50 price target away, it's only going to be $25. So I'll say we'll definitely get some inconsistencies by picking a price target off a 300 bounce right now. We'll wait till it gets there if it does, and then we'll have more accurate targets. Okay. I have no thoughts on the $6.6 billion contract with Verizon and Samsung, only because I have no clue that it even happened. I'd have to read. What sector will do good in the sell-off? Good question. I think we could all agree that much of the sell-off we're seeing right now is primarily due to tech. I mean, there's more reasons than that, sure, but a lot of it has to do with some technology stocks, been overbought, coming down. I think a lot of that has to do with the sell-off right now, and I'd honestly say that many would agree. But something that's been performing okay has been the travel industry, okay, and even like Delta, American Airlines, all of them have been holding up okay. All right. What I'm nervous about, though, this is one of the industries here that I've been watching pretty closely. Okay, and the reason being is really because I feel like we are starting to get to the end of this whole pandemic scare. Couple reasons. I think I read this. I think Idaho is about to drop all coronavirus related restrictions. So I think that's going to start easing up. I think travel's getting around the corner. It's going to start picking up. It may not recover right away, but I totally see this industry being okay right now. And if you look at the pricing, this is a 20-year chart. If you look at the 20-year chart, I mean, it's arguably in a decent accumulation zone, if you ask me. Something like Delta, American Airlines, UAL, CCL, all those travel industries. I think they're doing okay. But to answer your question, if the markets really, really tank, everything's going to get hit again. That's just naturally how it works. So I don't see any specific sector performing extremely well if the market tanks right here. Hey guys, like I said, nothing has changed here with the audio. I'm really doing everything normal, so it's got to be some sort of issue. Can't fix it right now on stream. It is raining outside here, so maybe that has to do with it. Sorry, is what it is. But like I said, we are working on a half-ass system right now until we move. So that's all we can do. All right, guys, everybody take care. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys hopefully when the stream works better